Let us learn how to represent real numbers on the number line. Example 11 is to visualize the representation of 5.37 bar on the number line up to 5 decimal places. Up to 5 decimal places is 5.37777. First of all, represent 5 the whole number on the number line. Draw a number line, divide it into 10 equal parts and mark 0 to 10 since 5 lies between 0 and 10. Mark 5 by circling. View the next decimal 5.3 where it lies. Automatically we know that it lies between 5 and 6. So circle 6. Now the next number line we have to draw, that is in the points that lie between 5 and 6. Divide the number line into 10 equal parts again. Now start marking the points, that is 5.1, 5.2 and so on till we get 5.9 at last 6. Now circle 5.3. So we have represented. Now see where 5.37 lies. So we know it lies between 5.3 and 5.4. Circle 5.4. Now we have to draw the next number line, divide it into 10 equal parts and represent the points that lie between 5.3 and 5.4 because 5.37 lies between these both. Now start marking the points as 5.31, 5.32, 5.33 and so on till we get 5.39 and at last 5.4. Now circle 5.37. Now view the next one, that is 5.377. It lies between 5.37 and 5.38. Again draw a number line, divide it into 10 equal parts and now we are going to mark points that lie between 5.37 and 5.38 such that 5.377 lies between this. Now start marking 5.371, 3.372, 5.373 and so on. Now mark till we get 5.379 at last 5.38. 5.38 is nothing, it is 5.380 and 5.37 is nothing, it is 5.370 in the beginning. So now mark 5.377 by putting a circle. Now we have to view where 5.3777 lies. We know that it lies between 5.377 and 5.378. Circle 5.378. Now next draw a number line, divide it into 10 equal parts and first of all mark 5.377 and at last 5.378. 5.377 represents 5.3770 and at last 5.378 represents 5.3780. Now start marking the points 5.3771, 5.3772 and so on till you finish with 5.3779 and at last 5.378. Now circle 5.3777. Now we have to view the last decimal, that is 5.37777 where it lies. It lies between 5.3777 and 5.37778. So there circle that decimal 5.3778. Now draw a number line at last, divide it into 10 equal parts. And again the first point you mark it as 5.3777 and the last point you mark it as 5.3778. Now start marking the points as 5.37771, 5.37772 and so on and complete it with 5.37779 and at last 5.37778. So now at last we require only the last decimal. Now represent it by circling and putting the point P. Now there P represents 5.37777. We will start with exercise 1.4. Visualize 3.765 on the number line using successive magnification. Now 3.765 is a terminating decimal expansion. Now we are learning how to represent the decimal expansions of rational numbers on the number line. So now on 3.765, first of all represent 3 the whole number on the number line. Draw a number line, divide it into 10 equal parts, and since 3 lies between 0 and 10, write numbers 0 to 10. Circle 3. Now view the next decimal 3.7. It lies between 3 and 4. Circle 4. Now why is that? We have to draw the next number line, that is divide it into 10 equal parts, and the first part should be 3 and the last 10th part should be 4. Now since we have to represent 3.7, so we have to start with 3.1, 3.2, 3.3 and so on till we reach 3.9 and at last 4. Now circle 3.7. View the next decimal 3.76 where it lies. It lies between 3.7 and 3.8. Now circle 3.8. Why is that? We are going to draw the next number line, divide it into 10 equal parts. The first point will be 3.7 and the last point will be 3.8. Now start writing. We have to represent 3.76. Now start marking it as 3.71, 3.72 and so on till we reach 3.79 and at last 3.8. Now circle 3.76. View the next point, 3.765. It lies between 3.76 and 3.77. Now draw the number line next, divide it into 10 equal parts and mark 3.76 as the first point and the last point is 3.77. Now since we have to represent 3.765 at last, we will start writing with 3.761, 3.762 and so on till we reach 3.769 and at last 3.77 is the last point. Now we have to represent 3.765 by circling and marking it as capital P. Now this P represents 3.765 on the number line. The second sum is to visualize 4.26 on the number line up to 4 decimal places. Once more I'll tell you, it is to visualize 4.26 bar on the number line up to 4 decimal places. 4.26 bar means 26 is getting recurred. So we have to adjust this decimal up to 4 decimal places. It becomes 4.2626. Now we are going to represent it on the number line. First of all, represent 4 on the number line. As we have done before, draw a number line, divide it into 10 equal parts, and since 4 lies between 0 and 10, mark 0 to 10 all the points. Represent 4 by putting a circle at 4. Now we have to view the next point, that is 4.2, where it lies. It lies between 4 and 5. So circle 5. Why is that is? We are going to draw the next number line, that is the points that lie between 4 and 5. Draw a number line, again divide it into 10 equal parts, mark the first point as 4 and the last point as 5. Now write the points, that is we have to represent 4.2. Start writing it as 4.1, 4.2, 4.3 and so on till we reach 4.9 and at last 5. Now circle 4.2. Now see the next decimal 4.26. Where does it lie? It lies between 4.2 and 4.3. Now draw a number line next. That is divide it into 10 equal parts. Now the first point is 4.2 and the last 10th point is 4.3. Now we are going to represent 4.26. So start marking the points as 4.21, 4.22, 4.23 and so on till we stop with 4.29 and at last 4.3. Now circle 4.26. Now view where the next decimal 4.262 lies. It lies between 4.26 and 4.27. Circle 4.27. Now the next number line, we have to divide it into 10 equal parts, and the first part we have to write it as 4.26 and the last 10th part we have to write it as 4.27. Now start marking 4.261, 4.262, 4.263 and so on till we reach 4.269 and at last 4.27. Circle 4.262. Now view the last one, that is 4.2626. Where does it lie? It lies between 4.262 and 4.263. Draw a number line next. Divide it into again 10 equal parts. And again the first point should be 4.262 and the last point should be 4.263. Now write points, that is start marking it as 4.2621, 4.2622, 4.2623 and so on till we reach 4.2629 and at last 4.263. Now we have to represent the decimal on this number line. What is that? 4.2626. Represent it by putting P. Let us mark it with any other color and just represent by putting P, capital P. Now this P represents 4.2626 on the number line. We have learned how to represent decimal expansions of rational numbers on the number line. Very soon you will be learning how to represent irrational numbers also on the number line. Now we are going to learn operations on real numbers. Real numbers are of course rational and irrational both. Note down the first point. The sum or difference of a rational number or an irrational number is irrational. First of all, we'll see the sum of a rational and an irrational number. 3 plus root 5. Okay, it is the sum you're going to derive. Root 3 is a rational number, root 5 is an irrational number where the value of root 5 will be non-terminating, non-recurring. So when you add up 3 to that, you will be again getting non-terminating, non-recurring as the sum. So therefore, the solution, that is the sum, will be non-terminating, non-recurring, which is irrational. Take the difference, 3 minus root 5. It is the same. 3 is a rational and again root 5 is an irrational number, and when you subtract the rational number with a non-terminating non-decimal, you will get this difference as non-terminating non-recurring only. Therefore, it is irrational. Note the second point. The product or quotient of a non-zero rational number with an irrational number is irrational. Take an example for product. 3 into root 5. 3 is a rational number, root 5 is an irrational number. So when you multiply an rational number with an irrational number that is non-terminating, non-recurring, you will get the product as non-terminating, non-recurring only, that is irrational. The same is with the quotient also. For example, when you divide 3 by square root of 5, rationalize the denominator. So you will be getting 3 by root 5 into root 5 by root 5, where you will be getting 3 root 5 by 5. So you are getting the irrational number in the numerator. So when you multiply the numerator and divide it by the denominator, you will be getting a non-terminating, non-recurring decimal expansion, which is irrational. Note the third point. If we add, subtract, multiply or divide any two irrationals, the result may be rational or irrational. We will take an example with addition. Take the numbers as 5 root 3 plus 4 root 3. They are like terms. Add up 5 plus 4, which gives you 9, and root 3 you have to write as it is since they are like terms. So you get it as 9 root 3. So 9 into root 3 is 9 into an irrational number, where you will be getting the solution as an irrational number only. Take another example, 5 root 4 plus 2 root 4. Root 4 is like, so now add up 5 plus 2, you get 7, 7 root 4. So 7 root 4 is nothing. 7 into 2. Root 4 is nothing. It is 2. So what is 7 into 2? You are getting 14. So in this case, what is that your answer? It is 14, a rational number. Now next we will see an example with the product. Root 3 into root 3 is equal to 3. That is root 3 into root 3 is equal to root 9, which is 3. You are getting a rational number. We will see while finding out the product if you are getting an irrational number also. 4 root 3 into root 5 is equal to 4 root 15. So what is that? 4 into an irrational number. You will be getting an irrational number only. So now we have proved that when you multiply or when you add or whatever operations you do as they've given you in the point, the result may be rational or irrational. The next point is, for positive real numbers A and B, the following identities hold. That is, first one is square root of AB is equal to square root of A into square root of B. AB is inside the square root and it is multiplied. So you can write it as square root of A into square root of B by splitting. The second point is square root of A by B. This A by B is within the square root. So you can split it as square root of A by square root of B. The third one is square root of A plus square root of B into square root of A minus square root of B is in the form of A plus B into A minus B. At last, when you do it, you will be getting it as A minus B. The fourth identity is A plus square root of B into A minus square root of B. So it is in the form of A plus B into A minus B, and here you get A square minus B square. Here where A is equal to A and B is equal to square root of B, so it becomes A square minus root B the whole square. So A square is nothing, you have to write it as it is A square minus square root of B the whole square is equal to B. So you've got A square minus B. Now, or it can be the reverse of that, square root of A plus B into square root of A minus B. It will be the same, you will be getting A minus B square. The fifth one is square root of A plus square root of B the whole square. It is in the form of A plus B the whole square, where A is equal to square root of A and B is equal to square root of B. So when you follow the identity, you will be getting, in case of here, the only difference is you have learned identities, but here it is square root. So you will be getting, when you simplify it, you will be getting A plus 2 square root of AB plus B. The sixth one is square root of A plus square root of B into square root of C plus square root of D is equal to. It is in the form of A plus B into C plus D. So when you take the associative property and do, that is square root of A into square root of C plus D plus square root of B of square root of C plus square root of D, you get it as square root of AC plus square root of AD plus square root of BC plus square root of BD. We are going to do example sums based on operations of real numbers. The first example is 12. Check whether 7 root 5, 7 by root 5, root 2 plus 21, 5 minus 2 are irrational numbers or not. They have given you the values of square root of 5, square root of 2 and 5. Substitute those values wherever needed. Now the first one is 7 root 5 can be written as 7 into square root of 5. Substitute the value of root 5 in the next step. It becomes 7 into 2.236 dot. That is, root 5 is an irrational number, that is non-terminating, non-recurring. So when you multiply 7 into non-terminating, non-recurring, again you will be getting non-terminating, non-recurring as the product. Now you have got the solution, that is the product, as 15.652 dot dot. So therefore 7 root 5 is an irrational number. The second subdivision is 7 by square root of 5. Now you can see the denominator is an irrational number. On division, that is when you get the denominator as an irrational number, you have to rationalize the denominator. So what is that we have to do is, you have to multiply the numerator and the denominator by root 5. So now we have multiplied 7 by root 5 into root 5 by root 5, where you get an equivalent expression. Now 7, the numerator 7 into root 5 is 7 root 5, by the denominator root 5 into root 5 is equal to 5. Now here the numerator is multiplied as 7 into an irrational number and the denominator is 5. So the numerator becomes 7 into the value of root 5, that is 2.236 divided by 5. Now which gives you 15.652 by 5. You will be getting the solution as 3.130 which is non-terminating, non-recurring. Therefore 7 by root 5 is an irrational number. The third subdivision is root 2 plus 21. That is addition of an irrational number and a rational number. Now we will see what is that you're getting. They have given you the value of root 2. The value of root 2 is 1.4142 plus 21. You know very well, when you add a rational number and an irrational number, you have learnt in the notes. You will be getting, of course, an irrational number. So when you have added this, what have you got? The solution is 22.4142 . Therefore, square root of 2 plus 21 is an irrational number. The next fourth is pi minus 2. Here it is subtracting a rational and an irrational number. They have given you the value of pi. Substitute the value of pi there as 3.1415 minus 2. You have learned the difference between the rational and an irrational number. You will be always getting an irrational number. Now here you are subtracting as it is. So what is the solution you are getting? You are getting it as 1.1415 . Hence pi minus 2 is an irrational number. 13th example is add 2 root 2 plus 5 root 3 and root 2 minus 3 root 3. Now what is that we have to do is, we have to add up these two expressions. 2 root 2 plus 5 root 3 plus 2 root 2 minus 3 root 3. Now you can see 2 root 2 and 1 root 2 is common over there. That is root 2 is common. So club those two, as within the bracket you can write it as 2 root 2 plus root 2. Plus the other two, that is 5 root 3 and 3 root 3 are like terms. So you can take that as an other expression as within a bracket putting plus in between 5 root 3 minus 3 root 3. Now what is that you will get? 2 root 2 plus 1 root 2 is equal to 2 root 2. Sorry, 3 root 2 plus 5 root 3 minus 3 root 3. Subtract 5 minus 3. You will get it as 2 root 3. The next example is 14th, where you have to multiply 6 root 5 by 2 root 5. Which is multiply 6 into 2 first, and within the bracket you write root 5 into root 5. Which gives you 6 into 2 is 12 into root 5 into root 5 is equal to 5. 6 into 2 gives 12 into root 5 gives you 5. So 12 into 5 gives you 60. 15th example is divide 8 root 15 by 2 root 3. Now show it in the division form. 8 root 15 by 2 root 3. You cannot cancel what is inside the square root, but you can cancel these two numbers, that is 8 divided by 2. It gives you 4 into, that is this root 15 can be written as root 5 into root 3 by root 3. Now you can cancel root 3 and root 3, and then you get the solution as 4 root 5. Example 16 is simplify the following expressions. The first subdivision is 5 plus root 7 into 2 plus root 5. Now you have to use associative property over here since it is in the form of a plus b into c plus d. You have to do it as 5 of 2 plus root 5 plus root 7 of 2 plus root 5. Now multiply 5 into 2, you will get 10. Bring that plus down, 5 into root 5 is 5 root 5 plus 2 into root 7 is 2 root 7 plus root 7 into root 5 is root 7 into root 5, which gives you 10 plus 5 root 5 plus 2 root 7 plus root 7 into root 5 is root 35. You have to multiply the numbers what is there inside the square root. So that's why you get it as root 35. The second subdivision is 5 plus root 5 into 5 minus root 5. It is in the form of a plus b into a minus b, which the identity gives you a square minus b square. Now here a is equal to 5 and b is equal to square root of 5. So therefore how will you express it? That is a square minus b square is equal to 5 square minus square root of 5 the whole square, which gives you 5 into square is 25 minus square root of 5 the whole square is equal to 5, which 25 minus 5 gives you 20. The third subdivision is square root of 3 plus square root of 7 the whole square. It is in the form of a plus b the whole square, which is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square, where a is equal to root 3 and b is equal to root 7. Now we will take that identity, that is a square plus 2ab plus b square, in order to find out the solution, which gives you a square is root 3 the whole square plus 2ab is 2 into root 3 into root 7 plus b square is root 7 the whole square. Root 3 the whole square gives you 3 plus 2 into root 3 into root 7 gives you 2 root 21 plus root 7 the whole square gives you 7. Now 3 plus 7 gives you 10 plus 2 root 21. Fourth sum is square root of 11 minus square root of 7 into square root of 11 plus square root of 7. Now this is in the form of the identity a minus b into a plus b is equal to a square minus b square, where the value of a is equal to square root of 11 and b is equal to square root of 7. Now we will find out the solution by taking a square minus b square. Substitute, that is a square is square root of 11 the whole square minus b square is square root of 7 the whole square. Square root of 11 the whole square is equal to 11 and square root of 7 the whole square is equal to 7. So 11 minus 7 gives you 4. Example 17 is rationalize the denominator of 1 by square root of 2. Now in this you can see, in this fraction the denominator is an irrational number. So it should not be an irrational number, you have to rationalize it. So multiply the numerator and the denominator with square root of 2. So you get 1 by root 2 into root 2 by root 2, where you get an equivalent expression. Now next is 1 into root 2 is square root of 2 by square root of 2 into square root of 2. That is, when you multiply the denominator, you get it as 2. So the solution what you've got here is square root of 2 by 2. Now in this you can see the denominator 2 has become a rational number. Example 18 is rationalize the denominator of 1 by 2 plus root 3. You can see the denominator is an irrational number. So to rationalize that, first of all you have to find out the conjugate of the denominator, 2 plus root 3. So what is the conjugate? It is 2 minus root 3. Multiply the numerator and the denominator with 2 minus root 3. So you will be getting 1 by 2 plus root 3 into 2 minus root 3 by 2 minus root 3, which is nothing, it is an equivalent expression to rationalize the denominator. Now the next step is multiply the numerator into numerator, you get 2 minus root 3 by. The denominator is in the form of a plus b into a minus b. So first of all write that as it is 2 plus root 3 into 2 minus root 3. It becomes 2 minus root 3 by 2 square minus root 3 the whole square, Why? Because the denominator is in the form of a minus b into a plus b, which is written as a square minus b square. Now see the next step. 2 minus root 3 is as it is by 2 square is 4 minus root 3 the whole square is 3. So you get it as 2 minus root 3 by 1. So 2 minus root 3 by 1 is 2 minus root 3. That is, you have rationalized the denominator. The denominator has become a rational number 1. Example 19 is rationalize the denominator of 5 by root 3 minus root 5. You can see the denominator is an irrational number over here. So to rationalize it, first of all we have to find out the conjugate of the denominator and multiply the numerator and the denominator with that conjugate. We will be getting 5 by root 3 minus root 5 into root 3 plus root 5 by root 3 plus root 5. You have got an equivalent expression to rationalize the denominator. And also you know the conjugate of root 3 minus root 5 is root 3 plus root 5. Now the next step will be multiply 5, that is the numerator, into the numerator. You get 5 of root 3 plus root 5 divided by. The denominator into denominator is in the form of a minus b into a plus b, which you can write it as it is now here, root 3 minus root 5 into root 3 plus root 5. Now it becomes 5 of root 3 plus root 5 by root 3 the whole square minus root 5 the whole square, since a minus b into a plus b is equal to a square minus b square. Now the next step becomes 5 of root 3 plus root 5 by root 3 into root 3 is equal to 3 minus root 5 the whole square is equal to 5. So the next step is 5 of root 3 plus root 5 by 3 minus 5 is minus 2, which you can write it as 5 by minus 2, or you can write it as minus 5 by 2 of root 3 plus root 5. Now have you rationalized the denominator? What is the denominator now? It is 2. The 20th example is rationalize the denominator of 1 by 7 plus 3 root 2. Now we have to rationalize 7 plus 3 root 2, that is the denominator. First of all, find out what is the conjugate of the denominator. The conjugate is 7 minus 3 root 2. And now we have to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 7 minus 3 root 2. So it becomes 1 by 7 plus 3 root 2 into 7 minus 3 root 2 by 7 minus 3 root 2. So you have got an equivalent expression to rationalize the denominator. Now the next step becomes 1 into 7 minus 3 root 2 is 7 minus 3 root 2 by multiply the denominators, it becomes 7 plus 3 root 2 into 7 minus 3 root 2. The denominator is in the form of a plus b into a minus b, which is nothing, it is a square minus b square. Now you can see here, it becomes 7 minus 3 root 2 by 7 square minus 3 root 2 the whole square, because it is in the form of a minus b into a plus b is a square minus b square. Again, it derives as 7 minus 3 root 2 by 7 square is 49 minus 3 square is 9 into root 2 square is 2. So you have got in the next step 7 minus 3 root 2 by 49 minus 18. So 7 minus 3 root 2 by 31 it has become. What is that you see here? The question is rationalize the denominator. Have you got the denominator as a rational number now? Yes. The next example is to represent square root of 3.5 on the number line. This is to find square root of x for any given positive real numbers x geometrically. Take the number what is inside the square root out. Now draw a line segment 3.5 centimeters and mark it as AB. Extend B to C such that BC is equal to 1 centimeter. Now the line segment, that is the measure of the line segment AC is 3.5 centimeters plus 1 centimeter, which gives you 4.5 centimeters. Step 2 is construct a perpendicular bisector for AC and let it meet at O. How is that you construct? With the help of compass and A as center, Take 3/4 the measure as radius, 3/4 the measure of AC as radius, and cut an arc above and below. Place the compass needle at C and cut arcs on the previous arcs. So now join those two arcs up and below and let it meet AC at O. Now you have got the perpendicular bisector for AC. Step 3 is, with the help of compass and O as center and also OA is equal to OC as radius, draw a semicircle. The next step is, place the protractor at B and mark 90 degrees. Now from B, draw a line and extend it. Now you can see the line meets the semicircle at D and it is a perpendicular line. Now that BD becomes square root of 3.5. Yes, now you can see what you have to do is, you have to extend AB line segment as a number line with B denoting 0 and C denoting 1, and 1 centimeter apart you have to mark 2, 3, etc. Now you have to take, with the help of compass and B as center, the measure of BD, and you have to cut the number line at P. Now P represents square root of 3.5 on the number line. Now you have to join OD. When you join OD, you are getting the right angle triangle BOD, where you have to justify it. Justification is to prove that BD is equal to square root of 3.5. Steps of construction. First step is, draw AB is equal to 3.5 centimeters and extend it to C so that BC is equal to 1 centimeter, that is AC is equal to 3.5 centimeters plus 1 centimeter gives you 4.5 centimeters. These are the steps what we have done in the construction. Construct a perpendicular bisector for AC and let it meet at O. This was the second step we did. Now with O as center and OA is equal to OC as radius, draw a semicircle. At B, draw a perpendicular and let it cut the semicircle at D. Now BD is equal to square root of 3.5. Now next is, we have to do the justification part. Justification is to verify or to prove that BD is equal to square root of 3.5. For this, what is that we have to do is, we have to join OD. Now in triangle BOD, by Pythagoras theorem, you get OD square is equal to OB square plus BD square, which becomes 1. Now in this, we have formed the right angle triangle BOD. To prove that BD is equal to square root of 3.5, we have to find out the measure of OB and OD. Now you very well know OD is equal to OA is equal to OC, because we have drawn the semicircle with the help of OA and OC measure. What is OA measure? It is half of 4.5, because AC is equal to 4.5. So OA is equal to OC is equal to 4.5 by 2, which is also equal to OD, which is 4.5 by 2. Now we have to see what is OB. OB is nothing, it is AB measure minus OA measure. What is AB measure? It is 3.5 minus OA measure is, just now you found out, it is 4.5 by 2. Now here the denominator becomes 2, that is the LCM, and the numerator becomes 7 minus 4.5, which is nothing, it is 2.5 by 2. Equation 1 becomes BD square is equal to OD square minus OB square, which is 4.5 by 2 the whole square minus 2.5 by 2 the whole square, which is in the form of A square minus B square. Now this you can expand it as A square minus B square, the identity, as A plus B into A minus B. A plus B is 4.5 by 2 plus 2.5 by 2 into 4.5 by 2 minus 2.5 by 2. Now in 4.5 by 2 plus 2.5 by 2, 2 is the common denominator. 4.5 plus 2.5 gives you 7. So it becomes 7 by 2 into, in the second expression 2 is the common denominator, and again 4.5 minus 2.5 gives you 2. So here 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So the solution you will be getting it as 7 by 2. So what is BD square? It is equal to 3.5. That is 7 by 2 is equal to 3.5. So BD is equal to, bring the square to the right hand side, it becomes square root of 3.5. Hence we have proved that BD is equal to square root of 3.5. Finally, we extend AB as a number line with B denoting 0 and C denoting 1, etc. With B as center and BD as radius, cut the number line at P. Now P represents square root of 3.5 on the number line.